So this particular piece, the words say, "She makes America cry," and asks, "What's your number?" This 18-inch by 24-inch ink and acrylic paint on paper was developed for a group show in 2010 in Santa Fe regarding the U.S. history of the Federal Bureau of Investigations and Native America. And it's now in the Lloyd Kiva New Gallery just outside the doors here. One of the things you'll know if you really look at the detail in the painting is this number 198198. And through friends of mine working on Indian law issues like Stan does, I had some friends who work with the Department of Justice, the Bureau, the FBI, and they were able to let me know that this is the actual code used today for crimes committed on tribal land. And most of them are major crimes that the FBI investigates on tribal land. They have jurisdiction. If you look even closer on the woman's forehead, underneath her hair, what I've depicted there in ink is a whirling log. And what I'm trying to say here is let's take back our symbols for today's healing, right? Because we know this is synonymous with something that was evil many decades ago. It's a symbol that's still used all over the world by hundreds of millions of people in Asia, Native Americans, Hopis, and so that's the point that you feel that it can never come back again in mainstream. Well, maybe not, but I feel that it was never used by our cultures or our brothers and sisters' cultures for that intent, and that's what I'm trying to say was maybe something that other people think can never be reused. Maybe we can look at something where it can be used for the purpose it was intended for, which is for healing.
You have any questions about Indians that you've been afraid to ask?
We'll try and be gentle.
Just saying, okay, is this all you're doing? What do you really want to do? For me, I changed it. I've done a series of nudes. And I came back from London. I had this series of nudes, and I told my collector, I have these series of nudes. And he goes, "Are they Indian nudes?" And I'm like, come on, would you tell Jimi Hendrix or those black notes? I was just like, so I do mix it up. And I think that I studied the human figure, and it was really nice to do this series and then bring it back to the States. I've been fortunate to be able to do artwork outside the country and then bring it home. It's like anything that we paint. If I paint a tree, they're going to say, "Oh, is that an Indian tree?" You know what I mean? That's the Indian sunset. So, the Santa Fe is the only place I've been up on the rooftop in La Fonda, and the sun's going down, and all these people, and I'm like, the sun goes down every day here. As the creator, it's not a performance. You clap when you see the sun go down at home. I don't know. It was just, I'd never seen that, and, I thought that was a little odd to me.
The artists, whatever they make and show in Indian market, those types of venues, that's great. They feed their families and they send their kids to school, and that's perfect. But one of the things that I wanted to show by showing in those types of venues was something that was maybe different or unexpected or that kind of threw people off or didn't know what to think. And so that strategy hasn't been great for sales, but I think it's been great to get the dialogue going and the conversation going and for other people to see something different. So I'm really happy with what it's done so far. For my piece, it really was around the influence of my mother. And she was valedictorian of a BIA school in Oklahoma called Sequoia. And she told me stories about where they punish her for speaking Cherokee language and the other students for speaking Cherokee, which Tahlequah was the home of the Cherokee Nation. That's where the headquarters and the chief and the council meet and convene, and we have our ceremonies and things like that. So, and the school is literally in walking distance from the tribal council chambers. And so she was urbanized, to your point, and she knew that if I was going to have a chance in the modern world, that I needed to have a good education. And so from the time I was a little boy, she would talk to me when I was 9. Now, when you get to college, it's going to be different than you're experiencing now, this gobbledygook you're hearing. And I didn't understand, what's she talking about? I'm 9. I'm not going to college for like 10, 11 years. What do you mean? And because of that reinforcement and that encouragement, that's the way I started thinking about it. And then when I got older, I could definitely see and understand what she was talking about. I grew up in the TV era of Reaganomics and, get a real job and go get an MBA and go work for a big company. And so I really didn't do a lot of art after I left Japan. But then when I came here, I'd gone through that right brain spreadsheet type world. And I said, I want to use my left brain more and be creative and just allow myself to do that. But it was tough because you think, I got to make a masterpiece on this piece of paper, otherwise I suck. So, so that's the thing you got to do is challenge yourself to make a squiggle and flip the page and be okay with it, so you can go on and really do what you want to do and get past that built up wall, whether it's mental or whatever it is.